So now that we've seeded the Thursday night distance event, there are two things we need to do. We need to create the heat sheet or meet programs, and we need to create lane timer sheets. So first, let's create the meet program. I'm going to go into reports, and you can go into reports from many menus. I can do it here from the main menu. If I click run, I can do it from here, or I was previously in the seating menu. I have reports here. So I'm going to click on reports here and go down to meet program. And I'm going to click on it. And again, we're talking about the Thursday distance. I have 4 events, and I want to make the meet program for all 4 of the events. So I can click select all, or I can individually click the events that I'm interested in. So right now I have this set up to create a meet program for all 4 events that are part of the distance session. Down at the bottom, I've got various tabs that I'm going to make selections to make the meet program. First, I'm going to go to columns and format. For the coaches, the officials, most of the programs you're going to need, triple column will be more than sufficient. So I'm going to check the triple column. I almost always click ignore psych. Sometimes it depends how the event is set up, but if you don't click this, it'll actually print out the psych sheet for the event, so the order of the swimmers from fastest to slowest, rather than the seated format in each heat and lane. So I'll click the ignore psych virtually all the time. The others I leave blank. Include in the meet program. Entry times. Most of the time I don't want empty lanes. I want it to be compact, so I use as little paper as possible when making the meet program for the officials and for the coaches. I usually don't need records or any of these other things, so you can look through it. And then site sheet, I'm not making a site sheet, I'm making the meet program. So here we're going to have triple column, ignore psych, and then with entry times. And then I'm going to create the report up here. I'm going to click on the tab. And here's my meet program triple column. So here, in this particular event, it is set up by Meet Management that it's going to alternate the fastest women's heat, then the fastest men's heat, the second fastest women's, etc. In this particular case, there are 3 heats of men and 2 of women. For the men and women 1650, there are going to be 6 heats total. 3 men, 3 women. And again, it's set up for them to alternate. That's how Meet Management set it up. So now I've got my meet program. I can print it either directly using this button, and I'll show you, as I showed you earlier, how to set up the printer for sort of a direct print, or I can actually click this button, and this will be sort of similar to what you see on your computer when you try and print. You'll select the printer, what pages you want, if you only need a particular page, how many copies, collate, etc. So there you have your meet program. I'm going to go into a different session, the Friday prelims here, and I'm going to go ahead and do a report of that. So Friday prelims, I'm going to just select all the events that have already been seeded, just to sort of show you another meet program. Again, I'm going to keep entry times. I don't need entry lanes for this. If there are relays, I don't want the names on these programs because they'll take a lot of room. So I'm going to eliminate relay names. And again, triple column and ignore psych. If I don't click ignore psych, you may end up with a psych sheets. So we'll keep that clicked. And now I'm going to create the report. And here we have various events. This is what you're used to seeing at a meet. For example, this event, event 15, has 4 heats. It's slow to fast, so the first heat has 3 swimmers and all the rest have 10. I can scroll through the pages of the meet. I can see how many pages it is, and I see it's a total of 5 pages. Bummer that I've got one event on the last page, but that's the way it is. And again, I can either print it directly using the printer that we set up in the beginning, or I can print and then make my selection here of what printer and how many copies, etc. So that is the meet program.